Welcome back to Welsh Miniature Board Gamer, and today we're going to have a look at Aliens: Another Glorious Day in the Marine Corps by Gale Force 9. Now, I've been playing this game for quite some time on my channel, over a month, maybe 2 months now, probably. And so I've played through all the missions and I've had a really good feel for what this game feels like. So I think I'm entitled to my opinion on this game now, as opposed to just opening the box and saying, oh, this looks rubbish or this looks good or whatever. You know, I've had actual experience of playing this game, and if you want to go back and see me playing the games, they'll be previously in my history on YouTube. So, first of all, I'm going to break down the components of the game, and I'll tell you what I thought of each of these components. So we'll start off with the obvious, the miniatures. Now the miniatures are okay, they're not brilliant, they're not bad, they're kind of okay. There are some decent ones. There are Ripley and I would say Newt are really nice sculpt miniatures and actually look like the actual people. I would say Vasquez isn't bad, but then there's Hicks and Hudson, who, well, it feels like they got very lazy. They've used the same head for each of the miniatures, for each of those two, and it's no wonder Gorman got them mixed up, you know. They got the same head. So, yeah, that was a bit of a bad point with me. I didn't like that very much. But other than that, the miniatures are nice looking miniatures, and, you know, are perfectly serviceable. I would say they're board game miniatures more than, like, you know, miniature game miniatures. The aliens are really nice, you know, there's plenty of poses and it's that hard plastic and everything. The tail supports are awful for trying to put in because they just sort of butt up to it and glue it like that, and there's no real place for them to sink into to gain strength, if you know what I mean. But apart from that, they went together really well, all the miniatures did. I would say storing the aliens is going to be a bit of a bitch, but, you know, you can never really expect aliens to be very cooperative with us. So the cards are nice and shiny and really nicely laid out. I like the art on them, and I like the way they display exactly what you need to know, etc. And it feels like they're going to last the wear and tear of playing the game. Now the cardboard playing board, map, whatever you want to call it. Now that's where my biggest detraction from this game is. I had it for 3 weeks, I'd played it 3 times, and I could already see that it was starting to fray at the edges of the boards. Now this is a pretty big thing, you know, because in years to come, if it keeps fraying, it's just going to all peel off and it's going to be no use to me whatsoever. So, yeah, this is the big deduction I would give for this game. There are 4 boards, and, you know, the layouts look nice and what have you, and they're easy enough to see, but they is starting to peel already. I am wondering whether Gale Force 9 might at some point release the tile pack on its own, as, like, you know, you can buy it like this, like they did with first edition Zombicide. So the rule book is laid out nicely. I can find what I need to find very easily. It tells me the rules, etc. Yeah, it's nicely put out. I wouldn't say it was the best rule book I've ever seen in my life, but it was okay. You know, it taught me what I needed to know to play the game. Thematics. So, for me, I thought it was a very thematic game. I felt like you were in that Aliens universe, and you did have the Xenomorphs running after you, etc. And you were in those scenes, and it felt like you were in the scenes. They had written the rules really well, so they actually conveyed the speed that you needed to do things, etc. And what the problem is and how to solve it. So, yeah, I thought it was really thematic, actually. So the rule set and gameplay. So at first I was a little bit worried about it because I saw there's cards involved and I hate card games, etc. But then as you play it, you realise that the cards are there as a randomizer as much as anything, and as a clock. And it actually works really well. It just feels a little bit alien, if you'll excuse the pun. But yeah, once you get used to it, it's a good mechanic, a really good mechanic, and actually one that I'm enjoying now, which I really didn't think I would when I first looked at the game. It's a fun game, which a lot of games seem to forget they need to be fun in order to get people to play them. But this one is fun, and it's for 1 to 6 players, so even in this era, you can play the game. Most of the gameplay mechanics will be recognisable to you, and you'll pick up very quickly. And if you've played any other miniature game, you'll soon understand. Like you get 2 actions, etc. It's pretty much the staple of most of these miniature board games. Now, longevity might be a bit of a problem. So there are 9 missions in the standard box, and you can get extra missions from Get Away From Her, You Bitch, the expansion, and Ultimate Badasses. So Ultimate Badasses adds the other members of the Colonial Marines, which you're missing in the main box, and also a way of adding experience to your people. So as they survive longer, they gain experience and they might gain extra abilities. It's okay, it's not bad, but it's not a brilliant add-on. Next you got Stay Away From Her, You Bitch, which adds extra boards, adds the Queen, adds the Power Lifter, adds Bishop, adds a chopped up Bishop. Yeah, that seems to add a lot more to it, and it's kind of the story after they've left the Hadley's Hope and are back on the ship. So, those last few scenes of the movie. There's also Scenery Pack, which, to be honest, unless you really want the Scenery Pack, I don't see much point in that one. And there is what else is there? There's an APC coming out, which I'm curious to see whether they add anything that you really are going to want for the game, or is it just you got an APC. I'm not going to get it. I don't see much point in adding it to the game. The model is okay, but it's nothing brilliant, so yeah, I'm probably give that a miss. So where is it going to go in the future is a bit of a problem, I think, because I don't think they got the rights to Aliens 3, the prison colony one, which actually would be a pretty good idea with them running around, with the aliens running around in that prison colony. I think it'd be pretty good, but I don't think they got the rights to that. So therefore, I think this game is kind of, you've bought it, you've got it, you're done with it. I don't think there's going to be much more in the way of expansions unless they can get the rights to the 3rd film. Because as for the 2nd film, after Get Away From Her, You Bitch, that's the end of the movie. So my last thoughts. When I first saw this game, I thought, that looks like it might be quite interesting. It'd be worth it. It's not that expensive in the scheme of games. And at worst, I end up with a bunch of new aliens and some Colonial Marines. But I was really surprised by the quality of the game. Maybe not some of the components, but the actual game was really good quality. It's got its faults. Every game's got its faults. But this game is actually, at its core, fun. And, it's thematic. Fun and thematic. It's got me. And so, yeah, I would really recommend this game. If you're on the fence about it, it means that you're interested. So you may as well get it. If, you were going to get it, I would definitely recommend you get it. It's a fun game, and it's for 1 to 6 players, so you can fit you on your own, or your whole family, or your group, whatever. So yeah, I would highly recommend this game. There will be a few more playthroughs on my channel. I'm going to play through a bug hunt mission next, probably using the Ultimate Badasses expansion, and then maybe I'll do the Get Away From Her, You Bitch expansion later on down the line. So until next time, Welsh Miniature Board Gamer. Bye.